The Nigerian Senate has called for immediate federal government intervention to tackle a worsening erosion crisis in Edo Central senatorial district, warning that several communities in Erosion land are at risk of being wiped out. The resolution followed a motion sponsored by Senator Joseph Ikpia, who described the situation as an environmental emergency with serious and far-reaching consequences. Presenting the motion, Ikpia painted a troubling picture of a region under threat, explaining that the geographical nature of Erosion land makes it highly vulnerable to severe gully erosion, especially during heavy rainfall.
Urgent need for immediate federal intervention to address escalating ecological degradation across eastern land in Edo Central Social District. Also note that heavy gully erosion in Edo Central local government has expanded, cutting off access routes, trying to engulf residential and commercial areas in Eastern West. The Ukenu-Umado erosion corridor has severely compromised community roads and large expanse of farmland. Further note that the region rainforest reserve, which is rich in economic spices such as Iroko, African walnut, obeshi, and mahogany, are rapidly depleting due to uncontrolled logging, farming expansion, leaving the soil exposed to gully erosion, gully formation, and land degradation.
Supporting the motion, Senator Adams Oshiomhole noted that the scale of destruction has gone beyond the control of the state government.
The truth of the matter, Mr. President, as he has well as articulated in his presentation, almost the entire Eastern land is susceptible to gully erosion. And the scale and the magnitude of the problem is such that it is beyond the very limited resources of Edo State government. And I think the Constitution envisages situation such as the one that my distinguished brother Ikpia referred to when he created Ecology Fund to be deducted at source. Therefore, those funds are available. I urge you, Mr. President, the common Senate President that you are, to lend your weight and the weight of these hallowed chambers to convince the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, in which these funds are domiciled, to dispatch competent teams to carry out not only survey, but to design appropriate structures that will be the basis to find a lasting solution to the devastating erosion challenges in Edo Central.
Also contributing, Senator Abdul Ningi called for an investigation into the performance of agencies responsible for environmental management.
Because this is not just about talk shop, we need to reflect back on a motion of this nature, arising as it arises today, to ask the chairman of that particular committee in the course of debates of this nature to give us a synopsis, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, how much has gone into this ecological development fund, how much annually, how much was in 2015, and how much in 2016, and what has so far been carried out. Because every time we speak about specific issues, and standing committees of the Senate, chairman and leadership of the committees are seated, and they will not contribute to the issues, I do not think we are doing a good job.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio said the Senate would hold a special session to address the growing threat of erosion, particularly in the southeast and south-south regions.
Erosion is a big problem also. Gully erosion. In many parts of the southeast, you can't believe, buildings are collapsing, people's houses are going down, farmlands are lost as a result of ecological issues. So I think there will be a day we have to do a national emergency on gully erosion and all that, because we are losing even small portions of land left in southeast Nigeria. And now, of course, most parts of South are also affected, like what we have seen now in Edo State. Thank you for bringing this up, and I do hope our Committee on Legislative Compliance will immediately take this up and ensure that actions are taken and the Senate is appraised of it in future.
The Senate has urged the federal government to act swiftly to contain the damage and prevent further loss of communities, warning that continued inaction could lead to mass displacement and long-term environmental consequences.